Di-di-di-di-di, la la la, la la la, ay la la, ay la la.
We are the second oldest, the largest, and the most diverse consortium of graduate schools training future clergy and other professionals in the country, in fact, in the world. The Lifelong Learning Team was immediately able to identify a subject on how to support lives lived well until the very end.
These end-of-life issues and end-of-life in many ways is like the North Star of pastoral care. Because of how we understand what happens at death, it really shapes our whole understanding of how to live, how to thrive, and what pastoral care is. Because death is such a moment of truth, such a laying away of all the trivialities of life, and such that only the essential things remain.
The Quran says, every soul shall taste death, and we test you by difficulty and by ease, by way of trial. To us must you return.
It's important to remember that hospice is not about dying, it's about living and about bringing as much meaning and support at the end of a person's life as is possible.
How can you be with dying with someone who is dying if you yourself are recoiling in fear of your own mortality? And so part of it is, again, this notion of using ourselves as instruments to at least do some degree of processing with our own fear and our own resistance to death and dying, to more authentically be with someone else and be of service in that way.
And we know that approaching death has a lot to do with getting your internal house in order. Because as we approach things that come up in our lives, the regrets, the mistakes, the torn relationships, that approaching death is that opportunity. And we assist people in finding peace by getting their internal lives in order. And the only thing I would add is that those things that linger actually obstruct us from thriving in life.
So when we hear about death, Muslims will usually say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, which simply means it is from God that we come, and to Him we must return.
End-of-life conversations, breaking bad news, it's an art. It takes years to do it well. We have a lot of young healthcare trainees with no life experience to guide them. And similarly, nurses often have a lot of distress, moral distress, with overly aggressive care plans designed by attending physicians who refuse to have proper and timely end-of-life conversations.
Preparing for death, in many ways, in my mind, is like preparing for retirement.
Unless we have done this spiritually mature work of reflecting on what's most important to us, then we don't have full access to the understanding what the challenges are and what the blessings are of having these intimate and crucial conversations. I promise you, this is a gift you're giving yourself, and you deserve that.
I was really impressed with how the day went today. I wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but it was a great opportunity to get to talk to both students and other people who are doing this work in the field. I really hope that something like this happens again.
The section today that stood out to me the most was the interactions with people in our small group settings. So being able to share stories with other people, even perfect strangers.
For me, it has a more personal level now, and I think that, as one of the presenters said today, you can't ask somebody else to sit with the hard questions if you haven't thought about them for yourself in your own life. So it's really helped me think about that.